What's up? What is going on, guys? Yeah. Night talk, man. Listen, I've been having this idea of doing this for a long time. Spoke with a good friend of mine. He's a trucker. He knows a thing or two about being up all night. He said, bro, best night for you to go live is tonight. I said, for real? He said, yeah, bro. And open it up, man. Don't just talk about dogs, about whatever y'all want to talk about. And so, you know, it's funny because today we did the Friday Night Live and we had a dude talking about politics, talking about Trump, talking about this, talking about that. And then I started realizing, you know, as much as I love talking about dogs, it'd be kind of cool to have a place where we could all have an adult conversation, where we could talk about dogs, where we could talk about whatever. And so, hey, I said, hey, man, I'm going to go ahead and try it out. Depending on the numbers, depending on what I see, then it'll depend if we do it again. So, yeah, man, this for y'all late nighters. Michael Johnston saying, what up? We got Jose Hernandez, what up, Bully fam? G-Line, what the hey? You already know. So, look, man, this book right here, old book, man. Book's been around. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this book. If you haven't gotten this book yet, I strongly suggest you get it. Control of Canine Genetic Diseases. You know, from mast cell tumors, which is showing up on all American bullies, to just about anything else, is going to break down the recessive and dominant traits the way I break them down to you, except when I'm not around and you can read it and you can understand it. It's going to open up your mind, man. Jeremiah says, coffee me. All right, man. We got Marco Grimaldo. Nice. Just on time. Just went on lunch break. What's up, Marco? No, hey, do me a favor. Can y'all let me know where you're writing from? Let me know what state, closest city, anything like that. Fadia Streamy. What is going on? Did not expect you up in here. And yo, we back at it, says Queen's New Blood. Yeah, listen, I've been having this idea about having a night talk. Now, let me give you a little insight on me. I have trouble sleeping. Anybody that knows me and has been around me knows that I don't get to bed till 2 or 3 a.m. most of the time. In fact, usually around this time is when I answer a lot of my texts. So if you write me a text or something, usually around this time is when I start getting around to them. And what ends up happening is I've been thinking about, you know, I've been doing dog talk for so long and I want to continue doing it. But what if we threw a little curveball in there? If you notice, I didn't include dog anywhere there. Obviously, we got a wolf right here, but I didn't include it there because tonight at Friday Night Dog Talk, we had a guy talking politics, and it kind of tells me like maybe the public doesn't only want to talk about dogs, bro. Maybe they want to talk about something else. All right, Houston, Texas, that's right around the corner from me. I'm over here in Cleveland, man. Just right up the road, bro. Okay, we're up late. Yes. The QBN zip up. You got it, bro. You got it. Had to change the colors too, because you know the red shirts for Friday Night Talk. This is gonna be for the night talk, man. For this right here that we're doing. Jeremiah says Bay Area, California. We got Kentucky. Griselda King Corso. We got Raymond Bulls. What's up? What's up? G-Line. I'm a late nighter too. Okay. That's part of the reason I want to do this, man. I got a lot of friends that are truckers. They're up in the middle of the night. What the hell? I'm up already, so you might as well talk, right? Jose Hernandez, Arizona, just in the border with Sonora. All right. Queen's New Bully, same. I usually sleep during most of the day after the dogs are taken care of. Same here, Freddie Strivia, Sweet Home, Alabama. We got Michael Johnston. Political talk should never alienate people from becoming friends or being cordial. this is true, man. But you know, I would say that politics has become way too polarized here in the States, man. If people only realize that, irregardless if you have a president that you don't want, say, for example, the last 4 years, I was not happy. I did not like what was going on with the president that we had, you know. But what ends up happening is you got Republicans on one end and Democrats on the other, and they're yapping, chopping at the bit, going after each other, this, that, and the third. Really unnecessary, man. Just wait your 4 years out, just like I had to. Not only that, presidents could do or want to do as much as they want to. At the end of the day, if you notice, a lot of what Trump has been doing, which I agree with. By the way, just for the record, I was born in Venezuela, okay? And I'm very glad he's sending la-di-da-di everybody back over there, okay? Let me just be very clear. But a lot of it has to do with, you know, the courts allowing some of these things. If you notice, the courts are now stepping in. Work nights. I love the dog talks. All right, man. Like I said, Kahiki Sakata is cracking up. He says, bro, go to sleep. I can't. 1 minute, Texas. I guess 1 mile from Texas. Oh, 1 a.m. Okay, gotcha. G-Line, Buffalo, New York. Michael Johnson. I'm all with the new administration. So much waste already being found. I will say this, man. I have never seen somebody so ready to be president and hit the ground running. Whether the stuff that he puts forward, you know, whether it gets kicked back or not, it doesn't matter. I've never seen anybody just come in the first 3 weeks and just shake everything up the way he has, man. So, hey, good shout out for him. Also, I want to share with you guys. So I got the embark back for my girl, Morticia. Yeah, my girl, Morticia. Remember that super inbred female that has cocaine cowgirl in her and has Grand Champion 7, not to mention his dad, Zero Barks. Well, it turns out her koi is lower than I thought it would be. She's at a 30. I was expecting like a 38 or something like that. Nonetheless, I'm very happy to see most of chromosome 21, 23, 31, 33 completely filled. Check this out. This is pretty cool on this girl. By the way, here, let me show you her health. She's got mast cell tumors. So for those of you that are doing embarks on American Bullies, they're all coming back with mast cell tumors, just a marker that's popping up. A lot like the CRD4. It doesn't affect our breed. ALT, she has 1 copy. ALT, I have always said, when you have both copies, you get a lot more musculature. I want to show you this. When you go to traits, remember I said that the last coat of paint, right? It is right here on your K locus. So she's got KB. Now, you don't know if that B means black or means brown. The way you know is you got to go to the B locus. And over here, she's got genetic results, capital B, lowercase b. Okay, now this is, okay. She's got a capital B, guys. She's got first a capital B. I don't care what the second letter is. My point is that capital B is black. She is black. We know that. But here's the kicker. When you go to her A locus, she is ATAT. So she is a walking try that you will never be able to see, right? Because those tan points, they get painted over with the color black. And she has no dilution. She has a capital D on dilution. So it doesn't let it come through. KK says, what's up, Raul? What's up, KK? Nothing but love. What is going on? Let me see if I can square this away, guys. Let me see if I can square this away. Because this is something that bothers me. There you go. How about if I do this? Okay. I'll try not to get close, man. So The black one with the white socks. Yes, that's her. That's her, completely black. She is genetically tri, which means if I put her with a male that has double dilution, probably half of the litter is going to be blue and the other will be black, not showing tri. Fredia says, when I was working, I never got to bed before 2:33 a.m. Years later, I still have those hours. Okay, so, hey, welcome on board, right? Michael Johnson says, I was going to get on Embark on my female Cane Corso. Yeah, man, why didn't you? Also, what's the market for Cane Corsos looking like right about now, man? Because American Bullies, I would say, in the last couple of years has kind of slowed down, but it's starting to pick up a little bit right now. Good Brothers Kennels, what's up, fam? Jeremiah says, Raul, do you dabble in crypto? I do. In fact, I got some of that XRP, and man, let me tell you, I know it's going to go up, but I can't help but look at the numbers on a daily, and it's not doing as good as I wish it would have. Let me put it that way. Kahiki says she's going to have to be bred with a stud that does have AY, or at least one copy AY. You mean AT. NWA Cane Corso, what's up, my dude? Number Love and All Dog Breed podcast going down bad, he says. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just trying out this overnight talk, man. You know, I got nothing better to do because at this time I'm not sleepy. So I was reading up and doing whatnot and decided, hey, you know what, man? Let me jump on here and let me see if there's a market for Nightcast. Michael Johnson says, low market here in California. It's slowed down too much saturation, too many backyard breeders. Man, that sounds a lot like American Bullies, except I will tell you this. What it seems like what happened was there was a market correction. So I stated it early tonight, and I said, you know, those breeders that were selling dogs that were C-, yeah, those dogs are not being bought anymore. And that's actually a good thing. When there's a market correction, the market demands higher, right? It pays less for higher product, which means a C- dog is just not going to make it. And I think it's a good thing because I think it got rid of a lot of fleas and parasites we had in this breed. We probably still have many others, but those that just, you know, bought a dog on the whim and decided, hey, I'm a breeder now. Yeah, they're pretty much long gone. Michael Johnson says, I got XRP2. I got it super, super low, so I'm up right now, but also too wish it would be doing better than it is right now. Yeah, I bought it when it was 210. And then I sold it for some reason at 220. And then I was kicking myself in the butt because it went over 3, decided to buy at 3, literally at 303. And then it went down. And so I'm stuck here. So now it's a long-term. Yeah, there you go, Jeremiah. Long-term hold. Just leave it there. Forget that it even exists. Just leave it there. NWA, yeah, $3,500 for top breeders, $2,000 for medium breeders, $1,000 for backyard breeders. Wow. We were actually looking at we were doing market analysis for different breeds tonight on the Friday Dog Talk. And what we found as far as Cane Corsos are concerned is that as far as web searches, which is the only objective thing we could go off of, you guys seem to have a lot of growth between, say, 2010 and right about here, August 2020. So right about when COVID hit. And then now you're kind of middling. As far as us, here you go, American Bully. Yeah, as far as us, we actually had some great growth between November 2010 and right around May 2020. Then we middled. Then all of a sudden, for the last, I don't know, year or so, year and a half, look at that drop, man. That drop has been evident in every aspect of dog sales for the American Bully. I can tell you because I get consults. People hit me up for consults all the time, and we're having that conversation. And what it is, they keep telling me, hey, bro, like, what do we do right now that the market is down? And when the market is down, it's a good time to purchase dogs at a cheaper rate, better dogs at a cheaper rate. Queen's New Blood Kennel. I know Senza Tempo Cane Corsos, hers can be up to 5K depending. Nice lines, beautiful dogs too. Yeah, I know who she is, actually. I had a conversation with her about a year ago. Jeremiah, patients on XRP, once they get ETF approval, to the moon we go. That's what I hear. So I'm just waiting, man. Michael Johnson says, yeah, NWA is right. NWA says, where can I find that chart? Actually, anybody can. NWA here, let me show you, man. Let me show you. What I'm showing here is nothing more than Google Trends. So what you do is, let me show you how to get in there. You go to Google, right? And I want you to type Google Trends. And this is important if you're trying to research any market whatsoever. You go to Google Trends and you click on here, and it's going to bring you there. It's going to show you what's trending right now if you want to see exactly what's trending. Okay. But in our case, right, what you want to do is say American Bully, right? And then it's going to bring you into this screen. Now, initially, it's going to show you United States for the past day, all categories, web searches, right, for American Bully. What I like to do is I like to go to 2004 to present. That way you could see exactly where you are as far as trending is concerned. Also, for you guys that are breeding Cane Corsos or any other breed for that matter, check it out. What I usually do in order to know where I want to promote or what states, check it out. Last 12 months, we know it's been sliding. However, these are the states that are mostly looking up American Bullies: Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, South Carolina, and Oklahoma. So if I was going to advertise, if I was going to pay for advertising or anything like that, these would be the states I want to hit. In fact, if you want to go into more in depth, you could hit metro areas. In fact, you could go even to cities, and it's going to show you Newport News, Virginia, Fayetteville, North Carolina. These are the top 2 cities looking up American Bullies in the country. So that's where you want to advertise, right? So I hope that helps you guys in any way, irregardless what breed you're breeding, man. Yeah, none but love, man. None but love. That's my dude, Joe Church over there, NWA. Michael Johnson says, even though it's in a whole other category of dogs, I think the next breed to pop off is the giant Schnauzer. You know, it's funny you say that, man. Let me show you something. It's funny you say that because tonight we actually were looking at breeds. And the giant Schnauzer, let me see, dog breed. Here you go. Sorry. Giant Schnauzer is really not like, I mean, even though it shows a bit of a trend here, the one that really gets me, it's just the actual Schnauzer in general. Hold on, let me go back. There you go. Check them out. The last 20 years, look at how strong the Schnauzer market or the searches for the Schnauzer have been. They're 3/4 of the way up, and there is no drawback. Let's see the giant Schnauzer in the last Schnauzer. There you go. Well, look, you may be right. Giant Schnauzer is lower than the regular Schnauzer, but is definitely trending up, man. And this is the last 21 years, and it's just been consistently going up. So that's definitely a breed. If somebody's looking to, if you're looking to breed and you're trying to find a market or things of that nature, that's definitely something you may want to look at, man. Google Trends, I believe. Yeah, absolutely. Kahiki says, brother, I'm gonna check out. Yeah, no worries, man. No below. I'm just testing this out just to see who likes to do the midnight talk, right? Yeah. All right, Griselda. All right, man. So we got always giving us that great info. You got it. Just giving insight, man, because competition is a good thing. It really is. They have a miniature schnauzer. Yeah, we seen those. I don't believe their numbers were I'm sorry, at this time I'm not schnauzer. I hope that's how. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the miniature schnauzer got a little funky over here, and then look at the slide here. That's a pretty steep slide. So that's a market that right now isn't really doing its best. Nicholas Martinez says, "Hey, bro, I'm down for the midnight talk." That's great, man. Hey, by the way, let me let you guys know, man. The only multivitamins that we use, as you well know, is Nuvet and New Joint DS. Now, this is green. I got a green screen in the back, so it's not going to come through. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Either way, let me go ahead and take my banner off so you can see my ordering code. It is down here. It is 513237. You get 13% off with auto ship. The green bottle is a multivitamin. The blue bottle is joint support, man. Michael Johnston says, would you ever see yourself getting to another breed as well as continue with bullies? Look, currently I have other breeds in my house, but I'm not breeding them. Look, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you, Michael. We all evolve. You know, maybe one day I'll evolve and I'll change my mind. But as of right now, I feel that chasing, breeds based on who's hot is something that a backyard breeder does, bro. And I mean, no disrespect to you if that's what you're doing. To me, that's what it is. A backyard breeder is it's a hustle to them, right? To me, breeding American bullies is a privilege. Looking at my dogs and having a relationship with them and believing in this breed and knowing everything that I can possibly know, even though I don't know everything, it's what it's about for me, right? I don't knock the next guy. I don't knock the next guy. But whenever I see a breeder that's breeding 2-3 different breeds, it's just a bad taste in my mouth. For me, it's like you're only there in the good times. You're just not going to be there in the bad times because you were just never there for real. Yeah, you're right. And nah, I don't chase breeds. Got to be passionate about what you do. Yeah, and that's where I'm at, bro. I'm very passionate about the American Bully. I love our breed. I love every day. Not only am I convinced, but every day I learn something new about my dogs. They show me something different every single time. Let me give you an example. So you guys know we have a TikTok, and obviously we have Instagram and whatnot. Whenever I'm going to do a short, my girl Sunshine knows what to do without me ever telling her what to do. All I do is I grab the phone, I flip it, I put myself in position, and she automatically jumps up here, and she's part of the short. I never told her. I never taught her to do anything. She did all this on her own, her and Cadabra, and they keep doing it, and I love it. Let me see here. Sean Wheeler says, it must be different with bullies because I raised labs for 25 years. And when you had a black lab, it could produce all three colors. I have a black bully now that's mostly all black male. It's the greatest daughter I ever had. I only have one leg, and he's my best friend, and he's my other leg. He helps me get around. He's always by my side. Man, I'm glad to hear that, brother. This breed is phenomenal, and I'm glad that they're able to service or help you out. Queen's New Blood says, adding another breed, you will have to think carefully how they would interact with the current pack and how much stress yourself can take. That's true, too, especially if you're dealing with like a working line. because you got to realize my bullies, this is not a working line breed. They're not security dogs or anything like that. But you bring a working line dog in, and here's what's funny. I've rescued a couple dogs, right? So I got a cattle dog here in my house, and I have what I think it's a Malinois with a Husky mix in Shadow. What I'm noticing is my bullies are picking up on Shadow's behaviors, especially in the midnight barkings. It's just interesting to see how they pick up and adapt. Jeremiah says, do you feel the market is moving away from the XL line? Yes, I do. I do. I just think that, look, everybody is entitled to their opinion. This breed is so open that it allows you to breed basically whatever the hell you want, because the stud books are open and because what we're shooting at is an illustration, right? What I will say is I feel that a lot of big breeders, especially XL big breeders, did the breed absolutely no favors. They were just busy selling and making a buck and never trying to strive for the breed specification of what an XL should be. And so I think at this point in time, I think standards have more value than XLs in general. And I think that in due time, unless the XL steps up, it's going to step out. And one thing I heard that Dave Wilson had mentioned is he may lower the height at the withers. If he does that, then what he's pretty much doing is he's bringing down the XL, from small XLs to large standards, in my opinion, right? I'm trying to get into it, but wife won't let me. Yeah, Nicholas. If the wife don't let you, bro, don't even go that route, man. Yeah, Nicholas, breeding is a 24/7 job. There's going to be days, man. I could tell you, I started out working as a nurse. My wife's a nurse too. There were times I would leave home at 5 a.m. I wouldn't get home till 10 in the evening. And unless my wife got home earlier, then she would feed and clean. I would have to feed and clean once I got home at 10 p.m. So it's not for the faint of heart. Nicholas Martinez, I'm down for it. What else is there to do? There's a lot of patience, a lot of hurry up and wait. There's going to be missed pregnancies. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be stud owners that you pay for the stud, and then the sperm either gets there and they're not motile or there's some sort of issue. We make it look easy, man. I'll tell you that much. Michael Johnson says, what do you think about the UK moving towards a Cane Corso ban, just like they did with XL? Shake my head. I think the UK, I felt that the American Bully XL ban had nothing to do with the dogs and has everything to do with American urban culture. The UK does not want to be overran with the American urban culture. Also, in the UK, I could tell you I was in Ireland last year. Even though it doesn't make me an expert of the subject, I kind of got the pulse, kind of felt the pulse of what was going on. And over there, the people that are hip or are more into the American urban culture, they're usually the dicier kind of people, like people that, how do I put it, man? I'm not trying to put our people down in any way, but in the UK, you get looked down on when the American urban culture is the culture in which you live in. Let me put it that way. And so I think that plays a part of it, because I did research and I found, and I made a video on this, that Labrador retrievers for the last 10 years are the leading dog bites in the UK. Yet the American Bully is the one that gets banned and not the Labrador. And that's because the mindset of the Labrador It is considered, a suburban dog, family dog, blah, 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 and is accepted, by suburbia, and it's not looked at as, American urban culture. So that's what I think. Jeremiah says, I've noticed more people moving into apartments, condos, etc. Standards and pockets are preferable in the area. Yes, I think that I always knew that pockets and standards would always have a bigger market than XLs. You got to remember, you need a yard to have an XL, man. Not only that, you got to have time to train them. You got to have time. You can get away with a lot of things with a pocket because they're small little dogs. Standard, even, not too big of a standard. You could get away with a lot of things. But an XL, it puts the fear of God when people first see an XL. The same goes with a Cane Corso. If you've never seen a Cane Corso in person, a Presa Canario, an Irish Wolfhound, the minute you truly see them, you're shitting bricks. If you're not into dogs. Free Trivia says, whenever I purchase a certain breed, I want to know the breeder is concentrating on that breed, not several breeds at one time. It's just more professional, in my opinion. I agree. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm a nurse, but I assess. I look at a lot of things, right? One of the things I look at whenever I'm in the market to get a pup or whatever is the breeder's intentions. What are the dog's facilities? You got dogs tied up to a tree, or do you have actual facilities, or do you have, say, for example, an amazing kennel that can only house 4 dogs and you got 18 dogs where only 4 dogs should be? That to me is also not a good thing. So yeah, I agree. I think I want a breeder that's dedicated to whatever breed, and that when I'm able to ask them a question, especially, look, guys, I get people that come to me like this gentleman was talking here earlier. I have veterans that come to me and they're like, hey, man, I want to get a dog from you, but it must be a dog that is trainable because I have XYZ limitations and I wanted to get trained, so on and so forth. But you better know what the hell you're talking about. Because you turn around and you send an alpha male to that vet over there, you did him no favors. You did the dog nor the vet any favors, because if that dog cannot pass the training, they're going to have to end up either taking him to the shelter, bringing him back to you, doing something, because that vet needs it trained. He doesn't just need a pretty dog, if you know what I mean. Lee Foster, Michael Johnson, I think they will be coming for the American Bulldog next. I think the UK, I don't know if it was timing, but I think the UK dealt a serious blow to the American Bully market, in particular the American Bully XL. If you think about it, ever since I got into this breed, BGK, Aussie Kennels, they were selling a lot of dogs to the UK. The fact that class has been banned in the whole of the UK, so it's England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and now also Ireland pretty much banned the XL as well, because everybody was now pushing the dogs over to Ireland. I think it dealt a severe blow to the American Bully XL and to the perception. This is just me talking. I could be wrong. Also, I think that the timing of it, I think once the COVID dollars dried up and then the UK bans the XL, I think it gave an outlook to the world as if though this is another dangerous breed. And, honestly, I thought it was more of a knee-jerk reaction on the part of the UK government, but I'm not from the UK. I don't know how things run over there. I'm glad that I'm not over there, because I kind of felt that not only was it knee-jerk, but it happened rather quickly. Um, Griselda Kane Corso says being a breeder is not for the weak. Absolutely not. El Bob showing up again, man. It has to do with ignorance, in my opinion. It's the people, not the dogs. I agree. I agree with you on that one. Nicholas Martinez, I'm an electrician and working 9 to 5. Okay. That's cool. You are a nurse. Yeah, man. I mean, there's breeders from all walks of life. Um, in fact, when I first started breeding 15, 16 years ago, I started with OEBs, Old English Bulldogs. And one of the main breeders that I met there, he was a surgeon that decided he didn't want to deal with, insurance companies anymore or Medicare, Medicaid, none of that. So he decided to become a breeder. Oh, Bob, if you're not educated on the breed, you shouldn't own it. Simple. Oh, Bob, it's very easy to say that. How are you going to stop somebody? You see, this is why I've always felt that the registries can play a very pivotal role in all this. But the registries decided it's better and easier to just charge for registration money for puppies rather than have people have to pass a test or take a class. If you really think about it, in order for you to be a breeder that they're going to, register dogs under, I would create a class where, you could fit 200 people in an auditorium and I would charge them $2,000. 200 people at $2,000, that's $400,000 you just made. Then you're able to teach breeders what it is that you're looking for, what is right and what isn't. You see what I'm saying? That's just me, man. Michael Johnson, one of my first big dogs was an American Bulldog. He was high-strung dog, but a good dog. Here's the thing, man. I don't know much about American Bulldogs. I will tell you, I used to have a neighbor here. He used to live across the street from me, and he's got a huge backyard, about 2 acres. And this dog would run up and down whenever the FedEx truck came. One day, FedEx truck stopped at my house, and the dude got off, and somehow that dog jumped the fence. I didn't know what happened because I wasn't here. I didn't come find out until I got home, and then we saw on the cameras. The guy never got bit or anything, but the fact that the dog did that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Empire Bullies, good evening, fam. Jeremiah says, do you see a temperament change from the XL class to the standard or pocket? I do, Jeremiah, because the influx of Mastiff and Mastiff blood, let's be real. When the American Bully had different classes, in order to make an XL, at least initially, what was being brought in was all sorts of Mastiffs. Cane Corsos. I wouldn't put it past them. They were bringing even great names. And so I will say, I got pockets now. I got standards now. Their behavior, my boy Congo, by the way, let me bring him on screen because I know not everybody knows what I'm talking about. So let me show you guys. My boy Congo, who's the only Merle dog I got, he is, when I tell you he's a big teddy bear, I kid you not. That dog is a big teddy bear. He's an XL. My boy 305, when he was here, big teddy bear. He's an XL. I can tell you my current girl, Sunshine, she's a pocket. Big teddy bear. I can tell you my girl, Blue Girl, right here. Right? Blue Girl. She's a big teddy bear. I can tell you my boy Fireball, who's a classic. He's another big teddy bear. Ollie is a sweetheart. She really is. I don't have a dog in my yard that isn't a sweetheart or that isn't, easy to manage. And that's also because of me. I've been doing this now for a minute. So if I pick up any aggressive tendencies, any dog aggressiveness, anything like that, you got to go. Bye. Bye. I don't put up with any of that. And he's asking if you mean he meant a difference in temperament. Jeremiah says Talik, who, by the way, just so you guys know, Talik is son to my boy 305, right? So he says Talik is 100% guard dog when he's at home, but when we're out, he loves everyone and everything. And that's normal for dogs to act one way, in their home and act differently when they leave the comfort of their home, man. Lee Foster says, I go on pheasant shoots in the UK and Labradors and Golden Retrievers are always fighting. Yeah, man, people don't realize, bro, Labradors, I didn't realize it until I started doing that video and did my research. Labradors, yeah, it can get nasty, man. Queen's New Blood Bully says, first dog ever owned in my life was a Yorkshire Terrier. She was too intelligent for us as kids, always finding out how to get out of the cage, even when we tied it. Jesus. L. Bob says, my point is, Raul, there are many different types of breeds with different purposes. So if you have a working line, you'll have more active dog. If you have a companion breed, could be more laid back. L. Bob, I couldn't agree with you more. My point to you is, how do you stop somebody that's in love with a Cane Corso and has never owned a dog in their life and they have the money to buy? Do you think a Cane Corso breeder is going to tell them, hey, bud, listen. This is not the breed for you to start out with. Maybe you want to go get yourself a bully or something else first and then work your way over here. They're not going to say that, man. They're going to sell them a dog. I mean, come on. That's what I'm referring to. That's why I wanted to see a registry stand up and say, hey, you know what? If you're going to sell XLs or standards or pockets or this and that, this information needs to be passed down to the buyer. These are templates for contracts that we have in place. And within the contracts, there's also education for the buyer. I would love to see that. You see, but the reason they don't ever want to do that is because they don't want anything to get in the way from them making money. You see, that's what I'm getting at. Michael Johnson says the other day a lady was walking her American Pitbull Terrier. They drug her a few feet trying to get to my Cane Corso. Wish I could help her rather than eventually see it give the dogs a bad image in my community. Yeah, bro, you know, sometimes is the breeder, sometimes is the buyer. Sometimes the buyers get in over their heads because they think a dog is pretty or it's the one type of dog they always wanted. I can tell you, like, I'm sure the Cane Corso breeders, I'm sure Cane Corsos are just not for everybody, right? They're not for a 60-year-old grandma that's never owned a dog. L. Bob says that's the difference between owning a German Shepherd and a Fluffy. Okay. I love QBN Dog Pack. Beautiful dogs. Thank you, Shay. Nothing but love. Appreciate you. Michael Johnson says working labs are high-strung and need a confident owner. Yep. Empire Bully says, is it recommended to breed half-sibling XLs where they have the same dam but different sires? Okay. So you're going to breed have siblings with the same mom. My recommendation is before you do that, I need you to inspect mom, make sure she is even-keeled temperament. And even if she is even-keeled temperament, you need to have an understanding that when dogs are inbred, and I know have siblings, some people want to call it line breeding, but there's going to be allelic frequencies in certain parts in there that are going to be as if though you were inbreeding the two dogs, right? And what happens when you inbreed dogs or you breed dogs that close, there could be a tendency to either have an aggressive dog or have too timid of a dog. And that's directly related to genetics. And so I hope that you're testing your puppies And you know, I've spoken in the past, many tests that I do. You grab the pup, you lay it down, you put your hand on his chest, you look into his eyes, see if they're wiggling, see if they stay still. Um, the dropping the pan to see if the dog runs to a corner shaking or runs at the pan and tries to attack it. I mean, these are all red flags that you want to stay away from. But there are also things that you must do if you're going to be delving in the world of inbreeding. Just throwing that out there. Any breedings QBN this year? Well, we actually tried breeding. Actually, let me show you guys. So right now we're waiting to see if this girl took or not. That's our girl Ali. Also, we went ahead and bred Blue Girl. Unfortunately, when the sperm got here, it was all dead. And so I didn't have a plan B. And, you know, I've always said you got to have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. I didn't have a plan B for her, only because we are pivoting and I'm trying to change the body type, right? I'm trying to get bullier, thicker bone, shorter muzzles, that sort of thing. So I could have easily had thrown Fireball into her. And it's funny because the day after I was kicking myself, maybe I should have, but I decided not to. So we're gonna have to wait. Did I miss Tisha's Embark news? You did, Miss Shay. You did, but because it's you, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up here real quick and just show you. So Miss Tisha, Miss Shay, turns out to be genetically tri. Check it out. She is ATAT, but the reason, and it says not expressed, the reason it is not expressed is because, first of all, in the dilute means no dilution, and that's the dominant gene whenever you have a capital letter. So she's a dilution carrier, but she is not dilute. And then on her K, she's got that KB, right? And that B happens to be black, as she has a capital B, lowercase b. So, yeah, she also has a KOI of 30. And so I'm excited. She does have a double short muzzle gene. So I'm excited. How we're going to be using her. Michael Johnson said, I also tried that same club, Sam's Club, salmon and sweet potato. There you go. It's giving my girl more energy, better coat, etc. before I was feeding value pack. Let me ask you guys this. All right, let me ask you this. How many of us out here are actually on Nuvet and New Joint DS? I want to talk about something because ever since I started my dogs on Nuvet and New Joint, and we just dropped the video coincidentally talking about this, my dog's body weight has increased by 8%, even though I'm not feeding extra. I want to know, for you guys that are actually using Nuvet and New Joint DS, how many of you have seen the same thing happening? Because I think it's an amazing thing. If you think about it, it's actually paying for itself, because in a year, if you say for example, let's do math here. So I'm spending about, let's just throw a number out there, about $1,000 a month, right? So that's about $12,000 in a year. And let's take 8% of that. So 12,000 in a year times 0.08. So that's $960, right? So basically, Nuvet and New Joint is $100 roughly every 3 months. So that's $400. So I could actually double up. It's $800 in a year, and I'm still saving $160. Wow! So it pretty much pays for itself. This stuff right here, Nuvet, the green bottle is a multivitamin. the Blue Bottle Joint Support, ordering code 513237. You get 13% off whenever you do auto ship, by the way. Okay, Jose Hernandez says, I have some skin issues on my females American Bullies. I think it's some kind of fungus. What do you recommend me? Jose Hernandez, I'm going to show you guys something. And I want you to just stop for a second and check this out, because this is like one of the coolest things I think YouTube has or does, or however you want to call it, man. But what I want you to do is I want you to go here. Let me go ahead and put this on screen. Check this out. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to QBN Kennel, right? Right now we're on, right here, but I want you to click on the channel. And then I want you to take a look at this magnifying glass right here, right? Right. So what I want you to put on there is, so you're dealing with a fungal infection, right? So put fungal infection. And check out what this does for you, bro. Look at how fast it's going to tell you, look, it's going to tell you what shampoo to get. It's going to tell you what to bathe them in if you want to make your DIY. You could also use baking soda. We also have a natural, because not just do you attack this from the outside, you got to attack it from the inside. We also have a natural yeast detox dewormer. There it is. I mean, I break it down for you, bro. Look, I mean, it has whatever it is that you're looking for. All you got to do is go to our main page, find that magnifying glass, and hit search. Type in what you're looking for, hit search. Can I send you some pics? You can, but again, don't send me pics. I want you to do what I just said. Go there, check out a couple of videos, try a couple things out. If it doesn't work out for you in, say, within 2 weeks, then hit me up. At that point, I want to see your girl, and then you can tell me what it is you tried. Blue Girl's eyes, just wow, she's stunning. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Nicholas Martinez, I'm excited for you, brother. Thank you, Nicholas. I'm in Nuvet, says Queen's New Blood Kennel. Don't know what that means. You're in Nuvet. I think what it means is you're using Nuvet, right? I get it. Michael Johnson says, I need to place my order. Okay, man, it's all good. I'm not doing it to force anybody to do anything. It's just that I'm seeing the health benefits that you're getting. You're fighting cancer. You're improving Easty Westy. You're improving joints. There's less injuries and that sort of thing. You improve reproduction on both the males and females. And at the end of the day, it saves you $1. So it's pretty cool, man. Shade Tree, yeah, Miss Tisha. No Funny says, I've had Nuvet since she was 2 months. She's in excellent shape. Got a few family members using it as well. Game changer, in my opinion. I agree. Shade Tree says, I use Nuvet New Joint, and I will continue to. I love it. My dog loves it. And it keeps her immune system on point. Thank you for helping me take the best care. Oh, you got it, fam. If anybody wants to order Nuvet, do me a favor. Go down to the description below, or you could go to nuvet.com. You're going to need the ordering code, because you can't just place your order without it. And the code is 513237. D. Taylor says, I think it would be cool if we knew a bit about your story. We know the dogs, as amazing as they have always been. We are and have always been here for Raul. So who are you and what led you to success? Wow. D. Taylor. D. Taylor taking it deep. D. Taylor, look, man, I'm just a guy. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. I came to the States when I was 5 years old. My mom is Cuban, and my dad, may he rest in peace, was Venezuelan. We made it to Miami. No, I didn't jump a border or anything like that. Literally, at that time, Venezuela was a rich country, so literally we just got on a plane, and we had tourist visas, and we got here. Once we got here, my mom was Cuban, and because she was Cuban, all she had to say is, I'm Cuban. And so we got papers. Literally, that's how it went. So I grew up in Little Havana, Have you ever watched Scarface? I grew up in Little Havana, went to school in Overtown, Liberty City, all inner city schools. And, I never was able to own a dog. I was never able to own a dog. I always wanted a dog, couldn't own it. Because in Miami, where I lived, literally, if you open your shower window, you could stick your hand out and give soap to the person living right next to you. That's how compact people live down in the Southeast. Long story short, let's see. Let me give you a little bit of insight because I know you just don't want the genetics. So the generic. So it turns out I got a football scholarship, right? I was playing football for one of the worst high schools in Miami, Southwest High School. And somehow I got a football scholarship to play football at Tiffin University. So in Ohio. So I made it all the way over there. This is Division III, nothing big, guys. I made it over there, and as soon as I got over there, within 2 months, I get a call, and my ex-wife tells me she's pregnant with my first child. So I had to make a choice. Do I try and get her to get an abortion, even though I don't believe in that stuff, or what do I do? So, my old man always taught me that you got to face, with your mistakes in life, you got to face them. And not that my daughter was a mistake. It's just that the timing of the whole thing was pretty off. Long story short, I joined the military. And 6 months later, I found myself, jumping out of airplanes. And I was in Somalia for a good 3 months. And then from there, I was in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii for about 6 years. And I got out of the service. And as soon as I got out of the service, me and my ex-wife, we were having 3 kids. We divorced. And I learned real quick, man, that not having a career sucks. Because when you're in the Army, they pay for everything. They pay for medical. They pay for your light bill, your water bill. You don't have to pay for any of that. So needless to say, I was working my butt off. I started working for AT&T, and I was a salesman for them. I was actually pretty good at what I was doing. It was the first time in my life I ever made over $200,000 in a year. I was just wowed at my checks every single month. And then one day, I take it back. It wasn't AT&T. It was Bell South. They got bought out by AT&T. Once they got bought out by AT&T, AT&T came over to us, the sales team, and said, we're going to cap your bonuses at no more than $500 a month. Needless to say, I jumped ship, and I decided to go work with the crews. And at the time, I was installing DSL. I did that for about, I want to say 3 years, right? And then at that time, I was only with the company for 7 years. I was the youngest crewman. The next person above me had been with the company 13 years. So again, there was rumors that they were going to be letting people go and whatnot. So I decided, you know what? Let me become a nurse. My mom was talking to me. My mom had just become a nurse at age 50. And by this time, she was about 53 or 54. And she showed me how much she was making. She was making nearly what I was making. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and become a nurse. And I went over. I had a previous degree in political science. I went over to Broward Community College, sat down with a counselor, and literally 2 weeks later, put my resignation letter in and started doing my prerequisites. Became a nurse. Once I became a nurse, I started working for Hialeah Hospital in Miami, and also University of Miami Sylvester Cancer Center. I was an ICU nurse. And I soon realized, even though I was now a nurse in Miami, I still had to have 2 jobs to be able to live in this place the way I wanted to live. The cost of living in Miami is through the roof. Not only that, dreams are unattainable. If you ever go to Miami, don't go to South Beach. If you can, go to Hialeah, go to Kendall's. Just look at people's faces. If you stop and put gas, talk to the attendant. You're going to notice they don't have time for you. They're a bit rude, and what it is no one's making enough money to live, and everybody's in survival mode. And so I met my wife in the ICU, and after we got married, or right before we got married, I told her, I said, I want to get out of here. And she's like, okay, wherever you lead us, we're going to go. I said, all right, great. We're going to Texas. So I started working for the VA in Corpus Christi. Soon found out that's not where I wanted to be, Corpus Christi, because cost of living there is pretty high. And then I was looking around in Texas and found that in Houston, or not Houston, but the surrounding cities and whatnot, the cost of housing is super cheap. Land was cheap. And not only that, Houston is like the #1 city for being a nurse. So you can have an idea. When I left Miami, I was making $37 an hour as an ICU nurse. When I got to Houston, that got bumped up by $22, right? From 37 to 59. And the cost of living is cheaper, so you get another bump. The cost of housing at the time, now it's half, but at the time it was a third of the cost of what housing was in Miami. So needless to say, that made things a lot easier for us, right? But my main hurdle was that I had now got out of the ICU and I started working as a dialysis nurse in the ICU. The good thing about that is that now you no longer have 3 patients that are dying that you got to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off for 12 hours. Now you're just one-on-one with one patient that's dying. But because the dialysis treatments are 4 hours and it takes 1 hour to set up and 1 hour to take down, I was doing 3 patients a day. So I was working easily 18 hours a day. Easily 18 hours, 20-hour days. And so that was my major hurdle. Now, I would get 2 days off in a week. It was really tough at first because actually at the very, very beginning, my daughter was doing the majority of stuff while I was on the phone, FaceTiming her and telling her, okay, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. We had set a routine and whatnot. So finally, we spent about $40,000 worth in dogs. And what I soon found out was in this community, everybody was willing to sell you a dog. Nobody was willing to teach you how to be a breeder. In fact, I found out even a little bit later on that the great majority don't know how to breed. They're just lottery winners that are faking the funk. They're acting like they know. They're doing the conga dance with everybody else, hoping they could win another lottery ticket, right? And what I mean by lottery ticket winners, I mean people that have an amazing dog, but they can't reproduce it. And so that's a lottery winner, because once that dog dies or its popularity dies down or whatever, you're screwed. If you didn't learn how to breed, while you had the dog, then you're pretty much screwed. So long story short, I decided one day, I told my wife, I said, I want to educate people online. I'm not a veterinarian, but I am a nurse, and there's a lot of similarities, especially with the medications that are given, but a lot of like the dietary stuff, the foods, allergies, that sort of thing. And so, my wife, man, she has been my #1 supporter. I can tell you right now, she is the invisible lady that nobody ever sees, but trust you me, she probably has more say than I do. When she sees a dog, she sees a flaw. Once she calls it out, man, let me tell you, she can call it out a lot earlier than I can. So anyways, I got online and I started making my own videos. and I started giving people what I thought I wanted to hear, what I wanted to be fed to me, right? But at the same time, I didn't want to come out here and fake like I am somebody that I'm not. In other words, I am the sole owner of my truth and my journey. That's what I want to share. That's what I wanted to share with people. And ever since then, you know, whether you want to call it a success story or just a journey, however you want to put it, that is pretty much my story. That's how I've come about. And all I can tell you is I just love what I do, being around the dogs on a daily, because of my sleep issues and that sort of thing. You know, they have really facilitated things for me. There's days I wake up, man, like anybody else. I don't want to do nothing because I'm just wore out because I didn't sleep well or whatever. But they're the ones, they're the reason that keep me going, you know. And I'm just, D. Taylor, I'm thankful that you even wanted me to tell you my story. So there it is. Sean Wheeler says, when my wife's up tomorrow, I'm definitely going to sign up for your membership. I really enjoy your show and your knowledge on the bully breed. It's nice to hear from somebody that knows what they're talking about. The breeder that I got ripped from my bully, I guess ripped off, they were very knowledgeable and they bred mostly all of temperament, which that's exactly what I was looking for. The breeder that I got ripped from my bully, I guess you need to rewrite that or whatnot, but it sounds like then they were doing the right thing. Queen's New Blood says, Nuvet helped my girl pick up a bit more weight. Yeah, I've noticed that in my dogs, particularly if you look at my boy Fireball. Here, let me show you guys something. I want you to see this. When you look at my boy Fireball in this picture all the way to the right on Nuvet, just check him out. Look how much more filler he is. You know, you can see the space of his chest to his shoulders. How much more full he is. The picture at 2.5 years, he was already an adult at that point. I don't know. I think the world of Nuvet is the only reason why I even talk about them and I've allowed them to sponsor me. It's because I believe in the product. Patri says this is the best Friday night ever. Oh, Lord have mercy. Nicholas Martinez says he loves that question. Freddie Estrabia says, hey, don't want to skip that. Thank you. Freddie says nobody can say that Raul isn't real or transparent with anything, including himself. That's one of the reasons why I admire you, Raul. Thank you for being you. Much respect. Thank you, Miss Fredia. Yeah, I learned a long time ago, and it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine that's a trucker. He's the one that told me, "Hey, Raul, if you're gonna be doing a midnight talk or whatever, you got to do it Friday night." He was telling me that there's a breeder out there that he follows, and that breeder didn't know several things, and that it was a bad taste in his mouth. And what I told him was, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out here faking the funk, right? A lot of people that want to be experts, but they need to go read a book in front of you to answer your question. So I don't know what kind of expert that is, but if they have to go to Google just like you do, in my eyes, that's not an expert, right? But nonetheless, what I told him is you can lie to some people sometimes, but you can't lie to everybody all the time. Sooner or later, things are going to come through. And that's, you know, I'm just very transparent, very open, because really, what is there to hide? There's nothing to hide. I'm a dog breeder. This is my story, you know, bottom line. Michael Johnson says, I was going to say being a nurse is the perfect background to be an excellent breeder. It helps you out a lot, man, from genetics to, look, I had a dog here, my boy Fireball, right? So my boy Fireball, I used to have this alpha male, and Fireball didn't get along with him. But Fireball didn't attack him or anything. He would just stay to his own and go to like a corner or whatever. Long story short, one day they got at it over a female, and the entire pack jumped on Fireball and bit him. When I say Fireball easily had over 100 pokes from teeth in his body, I am not lying. This was like at 1 a.m. So what I did is I brought him in here. I got tea tree oil. I got tetracycline. What else did I get, Raul? I believe amoxicillin, a broad spectrum antibiotic. I mixed it all, and I was putting it in each puncture wound that this dog had. I didn't know if he was going to make it or not, but I knew we were going to do the damnedest we could. Guys, when I tell you that night Fireball couldn't get up, that's how swollen he was. In the morning, Fireball got up. He was limping, but he got up. By the following day, Fireball was walking like nothing ever happened. And, you know, it just shocked me as to how dogs can recover from these types of injuries. A week later, you would have never known what had happened. Shaytree says, all my respect and admiration to you, Miss and the Miss, beautiful family. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Miss Shay. Nothing but love. Nicholas Martinez, I respect your story. Proud of you, brother. Appreciate to be 1/4 of the man you are. Man, don't say that, Nicholas. Nothing but love, man. Appreciate you too. JS Bulldogs, I'm very happy I caught this live and got to hear your story. Well, thank you. I'm surprised you guys wanted to hear my story. I've always thought, like, the main draw is the dogs. Exile Oasis Bully says, woke up to gain some knowledge. Oh, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Purdy Hernandez says, do you ever go to shows? I do. I don't go as often, and I don't announce it. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Sometimes when I go to shows, I feel like my dogs get the short end of the stick. So let me give you a perfect example. My boy 305, triple champion 305, right? When we took him to the ring the first time, he went into 5 shows. He took 3 out of 5. So we decided, hey, you know what? There's a double show in Atlanta. We're going to take him over there. There's 4 shows on Saturday, 4 shows on Sunday. So I, like a dummy, decided to go there to cheer my dog along. He went 0 for 8. He lost to every single dog he had beaten the previous weekend that I hadn't gone to. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like going to dog shows. I could tell you, we took our girl Sunshine here recently to a dog show. This is after she champed out in the ABKC. We took her to the ICBR dog show. I forgot what his name is, the ICBR president. I forget what his name is. Anyways, he saw me. It turns out a year and a half ago, I was invited to go to Ireland by the ICBR. And my host, Mark Davis, he's the one that paid for everything for me to go over there. I went over there and I judged the show, which was the biggest show in ICBR history. Okay, even till this day. It drew over 200 dogs. So I'm flying back. As soon as I land, this dude is throwing my host in Ireland under the bus, talking about some whatever. So, you know, I decided I was going to defend Mark Davis and my host, and I did. And so last week of December, we take Sunshine into an ICBR show. There's the ICBR president. Sunshine doesn't win. What do you know? So that's one of the reasons why I don't like going to shows, guys. You know, when you're in a position that I'm in, where you have a platform and you have a lot of opinions on things, people get their panties in a wad real quick, and they will come at you however they can. And a lot of times, if it's, you know, in a show ring and they could, you know, not pick your dog, then that's what they're going to do. D. Taylor says, that's amazing, man. It's really cool to see you have done so much and love what you do, that we can all find a love for our dogs from time to time. Thank you for the energy over these years. D. Taylor, thank you, man. It means a lot. It means a lot, man, because this community, you know, I was the first to educate in this community. And like all communities, you're going to have people that are educating, like was the case with me. And somehow we lost a lot of support because all of a sudden everyone decided they wanted to have a YouTube channel. And you can't stop anybody from wanting to do their own thing and sell dogs and all that. And I kind of was saddened by it, because I kind of felt like, look, man, I'm giving you something that you could actually use, right? But unfortunately, the great majority of the people in this community, it's more of a niche. It's more of sheep following sheep. The breeders are not real breeders. Great majority are casual breeders at best. And we see that because when the market went down, a lot of them jumped ship, right? So it's just good to see, man, that some people are interested. That's all. Nicholas Martinez, that's a legit struggle you went through. You got it, man. This live right now, says Filippo. I'm not sure what he was referring to. We just got ourselves a new member. By the way, Freddie Stravey says, too bad humans don't genetic test before breeding. Dogs can teach us something, you know. Yes, absolutely. Real quick, Malachi. Wow. Malachi, a long-time member. Let me put this loud here real quick, Malachi, for you. Hold on a second. This one's for Malachi.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Yes, claro que sí, cabrón. Thank you, Malachi, for rejoining, because you've always been part of the crew, man. Thank you so much, man. Number love for you. Let me go here to the comments real quick. We got Purdy Hernandez. Do you recommend shows for beginners? That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. Let me just say this. You should go to shows, but you should not go to shows. When you're a beginner and you go into a show, you're going to get impressed. What ends up happening is you're impressed that this dog, that's amazing. Oh my God. And I got to see it and this and that. The problem is when your eyes get all like this, that breeder is picking up on everything. He snuffed you out, man. And that's where they can take advantage of it. When you let your guard down, when you know, I guess one of the biggest differences between a breeder that's been around 10 years like myself and say a brand new breeder is that I could totally love a dog, but if the owner of the dog doesn't meet my demands, I'm willing to walk away from it, because for every amazing dog, there's 10 others. Whereas that rookie is just going to go off of impulse, and they're going to let that person that owns that dog set all the rules and do everything and get the pup back and own you in every which way. With me, like I could tell you, there was a breeder here recently who I bought a pup from, and he was trying to tell me the only way you're going to get this male is if, you know, you co-own it. My response is, I don't co-own anything, bro. If I don't outright own it, I don't want it. You see what I'm saying? And you only get that with time, man. You only get that. You only get that with time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place here. Let's see, man. Okay, too bad. Yeah, too bad humans can't. Yeah, hi, you got it. That was Abraham Ramirez, man. G-Line late night show is dope. Yeah, man, I'm starting to dig it. We got 40 people up here. I'd love to see if we could ever get over 100. This could be something that we could actually be doing on a regular basis, because I don't go to bed till 3, man. Travador says, appreciate you sharing the story. You got it, man. It's 305 in Excel. He is an Excel. He's no longer in my yard. I still have access to him, but yeah, he's an Excel. Empire of Bullies says, I'm from Suriname. Been watching you for almost 3 years. All right, Suriname. Number love. Malachi saying, what's up? We already know he became a member again. Number love. Do you recommend shows for beginners? Already told you. If you're going to go to a show, if you can, go with your mentor, right? And rather than be so impressed about the dogs, what you should be looking at is interactions. And when somebody acts impressed, you got to see how these predators, right? All of a sudden they click a switch, right? And now, they want to set all sorts of rules where you're going to buy and pay for the dog 10 times over, but you're never going to own it. That's really the essence of it. Queen's New Blood says, yeah, that's the sad part. Good sportsmanship has fallen down recently, I've seen. It's still there, but few and far in between. Yeah. In short, the community has been watered down. This is true. Freddie Strivia says, guys, I'm trying to get silly now. Got to get to bed. Enjoyed this live. Like always, good night, Bully fam. Till the next one. You got it, Miss Fredia. Number love. Appreciate you. Purdy Hernandez says, gracias, firme info, big dog. You got it, man. DeJuan Meredith. Man, I haven't seen a message from you in a while. Definitely tip my hat off and appreciate you, Ro. Your approach to the community shows it's from within the heart and not just a price tag on it. No price tag, guys. Trust me, with the way that things have slowed down, I would have walked away a long time ago. I do this because first and foremost, I enjoy it. I love what I do. I love talking dogs. I like talking genetics. I like having a conversation with someone that isn't always just saying, yes, I agree. I want you to disagree, and I want you to give me your comment, and I want to overcome your objection and this and that. I feel that that's in that sort of communication, I feel like that's where we get the furthest. Because then those that are watching at home are like, okay, well, Raul's approach is this, but that other person's approach was this. So if we try this and it doesn't work, then we could always try that. You see what I'm saying, man? Nobody out here is the sole owner of the truth. I don't know everything, man. I don't. What I do know is my journey, what I have, dealt with. So if you were to ask me, hey, I have a dog, they just got mauled by 20 other dogs like my boy Fireball did. What would you recommend for me to do? Well, I went through it, right? So I'm going to tell you, grab yourself one of them disposable bowl plates, put tea tree oil, put amoxicillin, put tetracycline, mix it all up, right? And I want you to put it in each puncture wound. Put it in there. Make sure you clean your hands. You wash your hands. They're nice and sterile. Put gloves on, and push that in there. Why would I say that? I would say that because I did it and it worked for me, right? If I had never dealt with that, then what am I going to do? Go to a book? What is the book going to say? Go to your nearest emergency vet clinic fast. Did that solve you any issues? By the way, let me just say this. For those of you watching this, tea tree oil is highly toxic for dogs. Only put it in areas that the dog cannot lick. Now, in Fireball's case, I did put an e-collar on him, so he wasn't able to lick or anything like that. So if you have an e-collar, go for it. If you don't, be very careful where you're putting the tea tree oil, because if the dog licks it, it could actually become toxic. Salute Raul in the chat. Martinez Game Dogs. Woo, look at that. We got some game dogs in the house. Ryan Filippo says, what up from Michigan? All right, man. Why is it that XL don't grand champ? Purdy Hernandez, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why right now. There you go. That's why. When was the last time you saw an XL that had a top line like that, okay, that had the angulation going down on the croup, okay, that has this type of rear angulation, that has a perpendicular hock going up and down over here the way it does, that has a chest to elbow ratio like this dog has right here, that has a headpiece like this dog has here, you don't have it. You don't have it. XLs, for the most part, don't have it. This is one of the reasons why I pivoted. Okay, look. I was selling many dogs, like my boy 305. That's an athletic XL, but he lacks girth, lacks bone, right? And I decided I'm going to pivot because that's what the standard is asking for, right? But you're asking a simple question: why don't they grand champ? There's your answer, right? Ryan Filippo, like I've said in many other lives, I got my dog, then did my research, and have learned tons just from watching you, bro. So nothing but respect to you, Ryan Filippo. Wow, Ryan Filippo, I don't think I ever talked to you before, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for that comment. Brayman Bull Bully says, just finished the movie with the old lady. Glad to see you still live. What's the topic? No, I'm not still live. This is something new I'm trying out. It's called Night Talk. I'm just trying it out. It's been a good conversation. I just want you guys to understand these night talks in the middle of the night. We're talking dogs, but I mean, we could talk politics if you wanted to, or we could talk whatever. I just, I kind of want to create a space for the adult person that just wants to talk about everything, not just necessarily dogs. Don't get me wrong. I can talk dogs till 7 in the morning. I'm good. 8 says, what's up, Raul? I appreciate your wisdom as a trucker. I enjoy your content and info on the bullies. Thank you, man. Number love. A good friend of mine that's a trucker is the one that told me, hey, man, you should do it tonight. And so here I am. Kyle the Corso guy, all the way from the UK. All right, man. Purdy Hernandez, have you seen the Pit Monsters? Purdy, I have. In fact, let me go ahead and bring up Pit Monsters, bro, so we could talk a little bit about these dogs. I have nothing personal against them. I just don't like the fact that they're being bred with XLs. To me, it's to a certain extent we're playing with fire. So let me go ahead and bring this up. And the reason I say we're playing with fire is because the number one thing, Raul, any reason video's blurry and is lagging or freezing? I'm not sure, buddy, if it's getting cloudy or not. My internet is through satellite, so that's all I can tell you. These are supposedly the Pit Monsters, right? And so the thing about Pit Monsters, and not just Pit Monsters, whenever you breed two breeds, right? What usually happens is, right, one breed has a particular temperament and the other one has another one. I could be wrong with what I'm about to say, but I see a lot of American Bulldog in Pit Monster. The American Bulldog is a working line dog. The American Bully is a companion breed. There's just two different animals. You have a soldier over here and you have a peacemaker over here, right? What happens is whenever you breed two breeds, the very first thing that becomes volatile, guys, don't take my word for it. I mean, look it up. I could care less what book you want to go out there and read about dog breeding, genetics, whatever. The first thing that becomes volatile is going to be temperament. That means that in a 10-pup litter, you're no longer going to have 10 companion breed temperament dogs. You're now going to have 50% temperament companion breed temperament dogs and possibly 50% working line dogs. For those of us that have never had a working line dog in our lives, if you don't know what the heck you're doing, you could be walking around with a loaded gun and not even know it. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Purdy Hernandez says from Brazil. Yeah, from Brazil. So in Brazil, right? They have their own registries. I know because I interviewed Lucas Pitt about 4 years ago. He's one of the bigger pit monster kennels down in Brazil. And they mixed and matched and put it with just about everything. And my thing is, even as recently as I want to say nationals, we interviewed a guy that said that they had crossed pit monster with Borbles. Borble, bro. Like a Borble doesn't hunt lions, but it defends the village from lions. Have you ever seen a Borble move? You ever seen them hunt? Like the way they move, like they stalk, bro. Like to me, yeah, Queen's New Blood. I don't want to give that kennel a platform here on mine. I really don't. So I appreciate your comment, but I'm not going to post it out because I don't want people to go there. At least not from here. I'm sorry. I don't like the fact that you're crossing pit monster with the American Bully because you're trying to make a buck. If you were a true breeder, you would stick to your pit monster. Don't cross it to a bully, man. Honestly. D. Taylor says, what do you think of the Cowboys need? Dak said, you guys are Super Bowl ready. What do you need to draft for and trade for? D. Taylor, look, bro. I truly believe let me say this first. Jalen Hurts, before the Super Bowl, I felt that he is not as good as Dak throwing the football. I think he's better than Dak up here because he doesn't make the mistakes that Dak makes. And I think that that's where his game is better than Dak. After the Super Bowl, I still think Dak is the better thrower, but Jalen has the better brain. So my answer is going to go from there. I think Dallas, what they need is to get rid of a lot of salary because unfortunately we decided to pay Dak top dollar. This guy's he's going to be what, 80 million in the books. So look, Dallas needs a number 2 receiver. As far as running backs, look, I played running back. I can tell you right now, if we're able to fix that offensive line, Rico Dowdle, that running back we had last year, he's nothing out of this world. But that's all you need. Dude is able to pick up first downs. He's able to run hard. He's able to catch the ball, and he's able to pass block when necessary. So I think Dallas, we just had Zach Martin retire at right guard. So I think if you could bring in a guy like, say, Will Hernandez from the Cardinals, that'd be pretty good. And then we have a big issue at left tackle because this Guyton kid that we picked up last year, he didn't fare well at all. And people are saying, well, draft another tackle, move him to the right tackle position where it's natural for him. Well, here's the deal. You're paying Terrence Steele $13 million a year to man the right side. He's also he's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. Right now, you just got an entire staff that is here to run the ball, geared to run the ball. Why? Because it finally sunk in through this little old man's brain, Jerry Jones, that even though this is why you don't pay Dak $60 million a year. And that is because Dak is the type of player that needs better players around him to carry him. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look at Jalen Hurts. Go ahead and take A.J. Brown out of that offense. Go ahead and take the other receiver out that offense. Or tell you what, take A.J. Brown out and take Saquon Barkley out. Jalen Hurts is just another quarterback, an average quarterback, right? But the Eagles realized, okay, this guy is no Mahomes. He can't carry the team solely on his shoulders. He's got a good head between his shoulders. Let's put the right pieces around him. if Dallas thinks that they're going to do this drafting, they got another thing coming. Because not only do you got to hit on the picks, you got to hit on just about every pick. That's not going to happen. I think honestly, Dallas is nowhere near where the Eagles are. I think their front office is a lot more aggressive than ours is, because they have to be. Because if the Eagles don't win, general managers get fired. In Dallas, that's the problem we have. We have a little old man that owns the team. He's also the GM, so he's not going to fire himself. So he's going to sit there and twiddle his thumbs and do whatever. Now, hopefully, this Super Bowl taught Jerry Jones that if he doesn't get his shit together real quick, he's going to be looking up at the Eagles for the remainder of his life. He only has about 10 years left, right? If we go by the laws of averages. So he better hurry up and spend money and go back to Jerry Jones, in the early 90s, where I don't care what it costs, we need to win, and we need to win now. That's what I think, man. What do you think about the Chad Mayo, Pressa Mayo project? Is that dog that's got the it's got like that bull terrier nose thing? Is that what you're referring to? Let me know, Michael Johnston. Shaytree says, question, did my dog belong to you, Raul? Got not diagnosed with Lyme. Treatment of doxycycline inflamed her liver and pancreas. She was sick for 5 days. The vet had me stop the antibiotic. I would probably look into garlic. I'm not saying garlic is the end-all fix-all. We know that Lyme disease, they're spirochetes, so they're not even bacteria. They're spirochete parasites that will hide inside of organs and whatnot. But I would definitely read up a little bit on feeding garlic, and if garlic can help in any way, or if there's any other natural remedy. That's the best thing I can give you. Tarot Destroyer, don't love yourself at Burger King because they got cameras everywhere. Okay. Purdy Hernandez, thanks again, G. You got it, man. Queen's New Blood says, Chad dogs are very majestic looking. He's doing right by them by focusing on temperament, but also trying to balance out those looks. Okay. Understandable, says Queens. Yeah. Shaytree, now that she's doing much better, recovered from toxicity of the doxy, do you think it's safe for her to take amoxicillin? You might want to. Yeah, amoxicillin is very safe. Is a broad spectrum antibiotic. You might want to do some liver enzymes just to be on the safe side. Purdy Hernandez says, good night, big dog. Thanks for the talk, 411. And when I get my taxes, I'll subscribe. No issues, man. None but love. Ryan Filippo says, hey, Raul, what's some good workouts in cold weather? Also, do you recommend anything to put on pups' pads during snow and cold temperatures? Yeah, I believe they have like little sleeves you put on their paws, and they walk around. At first, they're going to be acting like they don't know what to do with themselves. But once they get used to it, they're good to go. Flirt pole is a good thing. You just got to make sure you're not running the flirt pole near trees or anything like that, because the dog can get hurt. You got to make sure it's straight grass wherever you're doing it. Hello, everybody. Enserata, look at that, joining us late. Raymond Bully says, you a betting man like myself, Raul, or a smart man? Actually, you'd be surprised, man. I handicapped for 15 years. I really did. I did NFL, pretty much lost my ass those 15 years. And then I decided after 15 years that I would use my mathematical knowledge that I so thought I knew into betting on baseball. And I did well. And then I said, you know what? Let me try this stuff on hockey. And then I really did well. I think I told you guys the story where I made $40,000 in 2 weeks. Yeah, It was crazy. It was really crazy. Michael Johnson says, yeah, it has the bull terrier nose, Malasso Presamayo. Yeah, I've seen those dogs. I could only wonder what their temperament is going to be like just based on the dogs that are being used to produce that look. Nicholas Martinez, these night talks are legit. I'm hooked. Where do you find good breeders? I find it hard to just Google it. Nicholas, I think that good breeders, it takes more than just seeing what the breeder wants you to see. Like if you are to go into Facebook right now, each breeder, right, uses Facebook as a propaganda machine. I think that in order to really know, you got to dig a little bit more. You got to look at the dogs, see how healthy they are. Is this dude actually showing videos, or is everything a picture? Oh, everything is a picture and the dogs are on slanted ground. Well, I don't know about you guys, but to me, if a breeder's putting a dog on slanted ground and is trying to make me believe that the dog doesn't have a high rear, that breeder's not credible to me in my eyes. I would much rather you tell me the dog has a slight high rear. Here, this is what it is. If you breed to another female that's got a short back, correct rear angulation, you're going to be able to fix that. That is a breeder. But if you're putting a dog on slanted ground and you're trying to make me believe that the dog doesn't have a high rear, it doesn't make you a good breeder when it makes you as a used car salesman, right? And that's just me. Guys, let me ask you this. I don't know why this light keeps doing that every time. Yeah. Okay. I see what it is. I think I'm gonna have it fixed next time. Guys, I want you to tell me on these midnight talks, what would be the best day of the week that you would prefer one of these midnight talks? Let me have an idea. Brayman Bull Bully says, I've heard you tell the story, but forgot all about it. All right. So I did something that's called the Law of 77. I'll talk about that some other day. Anyways, I did that as my money management tool. And I was just picking in hockey, right? Look, let me show you guys something. Because betting and winning in betting has a lot more to do with streaks and trends than it does anything else. If you're able to identify trends, then you're able to pick up on a lot of things. So let me show you something. I really enjoy the whole betting thing. I just don't have time for it. But look, let me show you this. So if you notice, Florida Panthers, right? They're on top of their division over here. Check this out. They're 17-9-2 at home. They're 17-11 away. The majority of the good teams in hockey have a real crazy home record. Look at that. 21-6, 17-4, right? And then if you look on the flip side, the really bad teams have records that are similar, but the other way around when they play away. You see that? So look at this team. This team wins only once out of every 4 times it plays away, right? You could pretty much say the same thing about that team right there and this team over here. So the formula I used that made so much money for me was I went, at the time it was the Anaheim Ducks. This is back in 2013. Say, for an example, a team like this right here or a team like this. They're 17-4 at home, 17-4-6, 21-6-1. So they normally win at home. Look at this one, 22-5-3. So what I would do is I would go into, say, this team, and I would look at their away loss. So right here, they lost to Utah away, but then they beat Colorado. But had this been the other way around, had they beaten Colorado down here, and then the next game they would have lost to Utah, and then they were going to play at home, I would have put every dollar I had that they were going to beat them at home, right? So that's what I was always looking for was a team that was good at home that just lost their latest away game. And that's how I did it, man. And I made some crazy money, man. I made $40,000 in 2 weeks. Turned around, I'd spent that because then I figured if I win 5 times in a row, check it out. 40,000 is 80. 80 and 80 is 160. 160, 160 is 320. 320, 320, 640. 640 is 1.2 million. So I figured if I win 5 in a row, I'm going to make $1.2 million and I'm playing with house money. Obviously, I lost. I then turned around and got $2,000, retried the formula the way I was doing it. And again, within 2 weeks, I was back at $38,000. So it worked. Detailer that says, put us on the hockey parlay group chat. You know, maybe we could start talking handicapping hockey a little bit. One of the things I normally did whenever I was going to be betting on hockey is I would go to particular websites that would predict who the goalie was going to play for that night. The other thing that is really important that a lot of people overlook is who is going to be the officiating crew. Officiating crews have a lot to do with everything. It includes baseball, football, and hockey. If you're able to know who's officiating and you're able to know what they're picky at, that gives you an added edge. Brayman is over here cracking up. Your thoughts on Red Lion Blood? I think that it's been so inbred that you got to be very careful. You better know what the hell you're doing if you're going to be going down that if you're going to be touching that blood. That's just my opinion. Michael Johnston, any day. I miss the earlier shows because that's when wife gets off work and we eat dinner. I get it, man. Brayman says Saturdays we can catch them when the USC card goes off. He's cracking up. Michael Johnston, always have to rewatch the earlier shows. Man, look at that, Michael Johnston. Empire Bullies, would you breed Merle with piebald? No. Merle displaces melanin. Piebald displaces melanin. Melanin is needed for color, right? And you need. Why does this thing keep doing that, man? I gotta really. Is it this? Anyways, color is needed for eyes, ears, for the liver, and for the heart. So if you're displacing melanin by breeding 2 dogs, one that's piebald, which already displaces it, the other one Merle, you may end up with some dogs that got eyesight issues or blind or deaf, heart skipping a beat. Who knows? So, no, I wouldn't recommend that, man. Shoot Friday nights perfect, says Ryan Flippo. Okay. Nicholas Martinez, Friday's a good day. I wake up at 4 a.m., laugh out loud. Okay. And Saratha, Friday's good. Oh, Friday getting a lot of love. Shade Tree, thinking about the anatomy of a dog and identifying. Raven Bull Bully says Vegas finds out they cutting your neck, Raul. Well, true story. Once I made the 40 grand the second time, at the time, y'all going to crack up. At the time, the casino I was using, online casino, the name was 5 Card Charlie, right? They later got bought out by betus.com. But at the time, 5 Card Charlie, I get a call in the middle of the night one night, and the dude's like, hey, bro, we're willing to pay you, $5,000 a week. All we need is for you to give us your picks. Guys, when I tell you I went 21 wins, 0 losses. I have never been able to replicate 21 wins in a row. And it just so happens that I was hitting these trending teams that whenever they would lose at home, they would just turn right back around at home and kick butt. A lot of them, I was even giving a 1.5 goal difference, meaning I had to win by 2 goals and I was winning. So they were like, yeah, we're willing to do that, but you got to come down here to Costa Rica. And I was like, shit, bro, I might get off that plane. Is the last time they're ever going to see me. So yeah, we passed up on that. Shade Tree says, learning about how important digestive health is for dogs, immune system and nutrition and mental stimulation. Absolutely. Is there such thing as a leucistic dog? Yes. And that's when they're lacking that melanin due to displacement. I believe that's what it was. I looked it up the other day. Let me look up the definition exactly, bro. A leucistic dog has a partial loss of pigmentation resulting in white or pale fur. Let me bring this on the screen so you guys can see it. Oh, sorry, man. Didn't mean to hog it up. There you go. So leucism is a genetic condition that's different from albinism, though the terms are sometimes used interchangeably. You can create a leucistic dog by breeding Merle to piebald. That's what can happen. You're gonna create a dog. You can create a dog that lacks pigmentation, especially where it needs it most. So that's why I would never recommend you go ahead and do that. But listen, guys, tell you what, man. Hold up, man. Let me. Yeah. There you go. All right. So listen, guys. Hey, thank you for joining me on the first ever Night Talk Live. Yeah. Give me some ideas, man. Please wait until this live is done. Leave your comments for ideas. And let's do this again next Friday. I'm going to do my regular dog talk. I do at 7 PCST. And then I'm going to turn around at midnight and we're going to do this again. Right now, the most we ever got up here was 45 people up in here in the chat. If we're able to beat that number next week, then the incentive is to follow up with the show the following week. Been a good time, says Michael Johnston. You got it, man. Queen's New Blood Kennel says they usually have blue eyes. I've seen. I'm back. Had to walk away for a bit. No worries. Shakespeare says good night and blessings to all. You got it. D. Taylor, this was fun and needed. Well, you got it, man. Hey, let's crunk this up. Yeah. No, not that one. Yeah, this one. I like leaving with this one. Yeah. All right, man. Yo, so listen up, guys. Next week, I might just start handicapping hockey starting tomorrow, and I'll let you guys in as to last week. We bet we're not able to talk on that. 75 people next week. Parlayed. There you go, man. Number love, man. Number love. Hey, before I go, don't forget. Nuvet, rejoin Dino. Right? Ordering code 513-237, 13% off. And guys, we're all from the queue. I'll be catching you.